The 2017 budget proposals defense by ministries, departments, agencies and parastatals of government in Akwa Ibom State has been rounded off. The exercise, which took place at the Budget Office, Governor's Office Annex Uyo, saw 8 ministries, departments and agencies appearing on the last laps of the defense. Etienne Oibama has details.
For 3 weeks, ministries, departments, agencies and parastatals of government in Akwa Ibom took turn to defend their 2017 draft estimates before the State Budget Committee. First to appear on the last day was the Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation, led by the Director General, Pastor Netio Ukbe, accompanied by the management staff. Pastor Ukbe brought before the committee next year's budget proposals for radio and television services of the corporation. Interacting with the Budget Committee, the Director General lauded the Budget Office for cooperation enjoyed so far and prayed for its sustenance. Pastor Okwe used the avenue to request for the updating of the station's equipment, especially the transmitters, to meet international standard and digitization policy of the federal government. He told the committee that AKBC is still rated high above every other electronic media houses in the South Nigeria, and started the determination of the station to do more in providing quality services. Some directors who spoke requested for a permanent site for AKBC, employment of more manpower, provision of latest equipment for radio and television, vehicles and basic infrastructure for efficient service delivery. Reacting to issue raised, the Budget Committee applauded the station for its mutual understanding and synergy between the government and the governed in the area of publicity. The Commissioner for Information and Communications, Mr. Nyekan Umana, accompanied by the Permanent Secretary, Pastor Praise Okun, and other officials from the ministry, also appeared before the committee to articulate submissions of its ministry. On its part, the Ministry of Environment and Mineral Resources was directed by the Budget Committee to have a discussion with relevant agencies in waste management to streamline its activities for efficient performances. In a related development, the Bureau of Cooperative and Food Sufficiency had informed the Estimate Committee that if government looks into issues confronting the 3 oil depot completed but yet to be inaugurated years back in Ibesiko, Sultan, the Senudiman, Fukanaf local government areas, the oil depot will stimulate cooperative society in those areas. The idea was raised when officials from the Bureau appeared before the 2017 Estimate Committee. In the same vein, the State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, says it will beam its searchlight to ascertain why the boss wage bill was increasing instead of decreasing due to yearly retirement of teachers. Officials from SUBEB gave the assurance when they appeared before the Budget Defense Committee. The Hospital Management Board, Ministries of Health and Special Duties also defended their 2017 budget proposals. The Chairman, Budget Committee, Pastor Nicholas Ekareka, commended ministries, departments and agencies of government for keeping to timetable throughout the exercise, and committee members for a job well done. Etienne Ibanga reporting.
The State Commandant of the Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC, Mrs. Cecilia Alao, has debunked insinuations in some quarters that tricycle operators don't need a driver's license to operate. The Commandant was speaking while addressing tricycle operators in a meeting held at Government Primary School, Afal Beitan. Livingstone Daniel was there.
Mrs. Alao noted that tricycle is a means of transportation, and as such, its operators should have a form of training and a license permitting them to operate. Represented by the command's image maker, Mr. Godgift Uwen, Mrs. Alao quoted some portion of the Federal Road Safety Act of 2011, which states that a tricycle operator needs a Class A driving license before operating. She said the State Command of the Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC, will henceforth enforce that portion of the law, including that of fire extinguisher, and advise tricycle operators to take steps to get their driver's license.
The one that you had in front is 15 naira. If you say arrest you, pay how much? If you carry one and in the front of you there's trouble and you want to make a sudden U-turn, the person in front will fall. The person in front will fall. And if the person falls and there's a speedy vehicle, it will ram into the person, it will kill him.
On the approved speed limit for tricycle, she said that tricycle should not go beyond 30 km per hour and should further reduce and build up areas. The commandant advised them to always keep to slow lane and stressed they need to always maintain their tricycle by checking their lighting system, wipers, tires, especially in this rainy season, to prevent road crashes.
And because each time you go out in the morning, you are owing some people the duty to come back safely. So that you have to be professional. I used to like a lot of you who dress very smartly. Very smartly. It's your business. Some of you will drive one of the best cars. But for now, that's what you're doing. So you must do it professional and put respect to it.
High point of the occasion was an interactive season between the tricycle operators and the road safety officials. Livingston Daniel reporting.
You're watching AM News on AKBC. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Still watching the news, and I'm Samuel Udofia. Members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN, in Uyo District have identified with its members who have made a mark in the accounting profession. The appreciation of those who excelled in their career took members of the Institute to the palaces of the paramount ruler of Eket Edidem ECD Abia and the clan head of Awafa, Etebom Raymond Iyan. Patience John was there.
The palace of the paramount ruler of Eket Edidem ECD Abia, after which the chairman of ICAN Uyo and District Society, Dr. Erasmus, congratulated the paramount ruler on his assumption on the throne. He recalled the paramount ruler's contributions to the development of accounting profession in the country.
We were happy, and I joined you that today, something we used to hear of in the West, in Yoruba land, that you can have traditional fathers, royal fathers, as ICAN members, is happening here in Akwa Ibom. God has so placed us in positions of authority. Even all these members around you.
The host, who expressed pleasure at the visit, thanked them for acknowledging his services and contributions to the accounting profession and advised them to continue to partner elders of the institute, whom he said can tap from the wealth of experience.
These are the kind of materials that the state needs to develop the private sector. I am happy and ever a chartered accountant. I am a member of the
At the palace of the clan head of Awafa, the ICAN members were advised to imbibe integrity and professionalism if they must distinguish themselves in their profession. Etebom Raymond Iyan emphasized on training of members and promised to identify with the institute in all its activities.
Professionalism, that's the only thing you have that the guy on the street doesn't have. Professionalism. You must try and preserve that, his character, ability to say no when your profession is to be compromised.
Some members of the institute during the visit applauded the traditional fathers who, according to them, are proud ambassadors of the body. They promised to call on them whenever the need arises in order to benefit from the wealth of experience.
Very, very happy, and I know that a lot of things are going to happen very soon.
The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN, has over 100 members in the state. Patience John reporting.
Developing strategies to drive employees' commitment in public service, driving performance leadership, and scaling up innovation in public service Among others were the topics discussed during a 2-day training workshop organized for permanent secretaries, heads of government parastatals and special assistants. The workshop, which was held at the Ibom Hotel and Golf Resorts, was declared open by the head of the civil service, Mrs. Ekerabong Akpan. The report of the workshop is here presented.
Civil Service, who noted the state government's worker-friendly disposition for ensuring the training and retraining of its workforce, also stated that the training became necessary to assist the participants gain the needed skills to deliver on the demands of their various offices for optimal productivity. She encouraged the senior staff, which she described as key drivers of government's policies, to use the opportunity offered by the training to sharpen their skills.
If the practitioners can put to practice what they know and do it timely, I think it will be better for us, because time is money. I think the civil service will seem to have changed.
Speaking on behalf of the participants, the Chief Registrar in Akwa Ibom State Judiciary, Princess Eme Ekong, thanked the state government for prioritizing the training of its workforce and pledged their unflinching loyalty and support to the present administration. Princess Eme Ekong said that the training has exposed them to new strategies in ensuring effective service delivery. Topics treated during the training included ownership culture, developing strategies to drive and build employee commitment in the public service, scaling up innovation in public service, effective leadership, transition from personal to people leadership, driving performance leadership, and understanding the A to Z of leadership.
President Muhammadu Buhari projects Nigeria to be among the world's top business-friendly countries in the next 3 years. PDP Board of Trustees to hold the next national convention in Abuja as they move towards reconciliating aggrieved parties. And Japan makes cash pledge for Africa development. For these and more, let's stay on with Mercy Akela.
President Muhammadu Buhari has said, come 2019, Nigeria will be among the top business-friendly countries on the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index. President Buhari said the presidency is committed to ensuring that the country moved up on the index by 20 places by the end of 2016 and be in the top 100 within the next 3 years. Nigeria is currently ranked 169 out of 189 countries on the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index. The president has said one of the most important priorities of his administration is to create the right and enabling environment for business investors in the country. The Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party has met at the Party Center in Abuja. The meeting, which was presided over by the chairman of the PDP BOT, Senator Walid Jubril, resolved that the next national convention of the party will be held in Abuja. The PDP BOT asked the Ahmed Makarfi-led caretaker committee to form a new national convention planning committee, which will be approved by the National Executive Committee, a move which he said will ensure credible, transparent, free and fair national convention. A vote of confidence was passed on the Makarfi-led National Caretaker Committee, while the Reconciliation Committee was mandated to continue with its efforts of reconciling all aggrieved party members. Japan has pledged to commit $30 billion in public and private support for infrastructure development, education, and healthcare expansion in Africa. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe made this known at the 6th Tokyo International Conference on African Development held in Kenya. He said the package will be spread over 3 years, beginning this year, and will be executed through cooperation with the African Development Bank. part of Japan's pledged package will be directed towards various pilot projects across Africa and will also be spent on training 20,000 mathematics and science teachers, as well as 20,000 experts on how to handle infectious diseases. African Union Chairman and President of Chad, Idris Deby, has urged Japan to also support efforts to tackle security issues arising from terrorism in Africa. The Italian Coast Guard has said about 6,500 migrants have been rescued off the Libyan coast of Sabratha in 40 separate coordinated rescue efforts in one day, the largest influxes of refugees in a single day so far this year. The migrants, who are said to be from Eritrea and Somalia, were parked on board scores of boats that are dangerously unstable on high seas. Data released from the International Organization for Migration shows that about 105,000 migrants have so far reached the Italian coast by boat in 2016. Also, about 2,726 migrants have died in the migration attempts.
You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging on to akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45 or on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. And now to end the news, the top stories. The State Deputy Governor, Mr. Moses Ekbo, has recounted the contributions of the outgone bursar of the Akwa Ibom State University, Elder Samuel Odowo, to the development of the university. Mr. Ekbo was speaking at a Thanksgiving service in honor of Elder Odowo, held at Apostolic Church, Ikorokoro Road in Abak. We also brought you a report that President Buhari has projected Nigeria to be among the world's top business-friendly countries in the next 3 years. That's our program. That's our news. Thanks for watching and have a great day.